presented by Memphis Shades, the clear choice for custom windshields and fairings for your motorcycle. And Wild Ass Seats, stay in the saddle longer and in total comfort no matter your butt or budget.
I feel like a Little Caesars pizza tonight, man, just hot and ready.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Do you come in twos also?
Oh. Covered sausage. Oh, wait a minute.
I think you said that wrong.
Oh,
no, I did it right.
Not you, Dustin.
Dustin walked into that one.
Yeah.
No.
Backwards.
That's not good. Well, okay, so this, you can already tell this is going to be very different than last week's episode, which I thought was a very professional, polished, excellent dialogue, you know?
Oh,
I thought last week's episode was really good.
Last week's episode was good.
Yeah, it was.
It had less fucks than any episode that's ever been done on Five Dirty Bikers.
So we have work to do. Okay.
Yeah. Fuckity fuck,
Tony,
fuck.
Crack the knuckles. Let's go to work.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? Actually, I pulled that fucker out. I pulled that fucker out last week and then took it out, and I went right to the spray off place.
Wait a second.
Why
What are you
would you
talking
do
about
that?
pulling out? What did you pull out?
Well, I pulled the bike out.
Oh, the bike. Oh, okay. I was confused.
It was very.
Why would you go straight to that area?
Because I didn't want anybody to see it in the condition that it was in.
Oh.
So you went and sprayed it off. Then did you go around Cox Block? Is that what you did,
Yeah,
Tony?
well, did the Cox block. Yeah.
Nice.
Knock cobwebs off of it.
Did you open it up a little bit, or you just tootle around like old man Cox?
I tooled around a little bit. I'm a tool man. I'm not in a rush. What's the rush?
You know, you're going to have to put some miles on that bike, bro, and toughen up your ass before you make that ride out to South Dakota.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be a long one.
He's calloused up strong, I'm sure.
I think Tony's probably got this down to a science. He's doing it. You're doing it in 3 days, aren't you, Tony?
I'm gonna do it in something. I mean, it might be a problem if you're a bitch.
I mean, I don't have any problem. So I did talk to Greg, and Tony, you're gonna like this idea. So he said that he'd be willing to meet us in Pierre, South Dakota on that Thursday. We can all roll in together. But what he would like to do is when we meet him there is get off of the interstate and take highway the rest of the way from Pierre, and then we'll come in north of Sturgis, come right down through Sturgis into Whitewood. So it'll be kind of a cool way to roll in with everybody.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So we'll just have to, as we get closer to the day, we'll have to plan that out. But so far, what I was thinking is that my crew will leave out here about 4 a.m. We could meet you guys in Sioux Falls by about 9. We could leave out of Sioux Falls at 9. Then we would be able to meet Greg, halfway through the day in Pierre, which is about halfway across South Dakota, and then roll in with Greg on some nicer highway roads instead of just crushing the miles on the interstate, because I know Tony's going to love that so much.
I would rather just slam my nuts in the car door than do miles.
Hey,
on the
where
interstate.
are you guys?
Well, you're
going
to
to
have to pound out some miles on the interstate.
I know.
Where are you
Like I
guys
said,
going to
that'd
meet
probably be a
up and
problem
leave
if you
from
were a
in Sioux
bitch.
Falls at 9 a.m.?
Sioux Falls, wherever these guys end up staying, my crew will meet up with them in that hotel. Wherever they're staying in Sioux Falls is where we'll meet up with them, and then ride from
We're
Sioux
going
Falls.
to the White Swallow Spa.
Apparently, if there's a place in Sioux Falls called the White Swallow, that's where Tony's
The
going to
White
be.
Swallow Spa.
So there you go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Five Dirty Bikers podcast. Now that we have all 5 of us
Tony
together, it's been like a month since we've all 5 been on at the same time.
It has been a little while.
Brittany, what the fuck did you do to your back?
I don't fucking know. I honestly don't know. When I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, they think it's a pinched nerve. I went back today for my follow-up, and they ordered me an MRI. So,
oh yeah,
to be determined.
How long are they going to wait?
I did a steroid pack, and that definitely improved the lower back, but I still have something that's fucked up. So, I haven't been able. I've just had a weird fucking go the last year. So
if we brought Jared on, would he be able to explain what you did to your back?
It's the pegging.
no.
Maybe.
You have to have a strong lower back to peg, probably.
Yeah, I bet you probably do. And you have to have a strong core, I think.
Yeah, strong core. The core has
my
to be
problem. I
strong.
don't have a strong core at all.
Well,
But to be
That's what
determined.
happened. You can't get aggressive. You can't go for the rabbit punch and not have a strong core.
Yeah, I gotta work out more. Prepare my body.
Throw your back out every time.
wow.
I got a bulging something disc.
I hope it's not a bulging disc. I don't know what's worse, a bulging disc or a pinched nerve. I don't even fucking know.
Usually a bulging disc causes a pinched nerve.
Yeah.
Just so you
Nobody wants a pinched bulge. Though.
No.
know. You
No,
don't want to be
we'll
pinching.
see.
Don't pinch
Don't-
any bulges.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a feeling the MRI is gonna come back normal, and then they're just gonna be like, "We don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. Good luck."
If they do an MRI on you, there's no way that they're going to
They'll
find
find
out that
something.
it's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those like love-hate things, right? Like nobody wants an MRI to find out that they're fucked up, but I'd like to know what the hell is going on.
Maybe have them start at your head and work their way down.
way
Oh,
down.
thanks,
yeah.
Ryan. Thanks. I'll
Have you
work
had
on
a
that.
Have you had an MRI before?
No, no. I'm not
Okay.
like that old either, so it's like one of those things.
You don't have to be old to have an
Wear
MRI.
earplugs.
No, I
Brittany.
know, but
They're going to put you in a long tube.
yeah, I know the whole gist of it.
If you're not claustrophobic, you might need some drugs for that. It's going to sound a lot
No.
like a jackhammer.
Well, I'll bring earplugs, like you said. Then
Jared's used to that sound.
I'm honestly, it's not scheduled yet, but I'm not worried about the MRI.
Are you claustrophobic at all?
No,
Okay, that's good because that's really what gets to most.
Yeah, it's pretty
people.
tight. Yeah.
Yeah, don't fart.
what she said.
Don't fart in one of those either.
Yeah,
There's
don't
no
do
place
that.
for it to go.
Yeah, well, they do usually blow a fan, but it's usually from your feet up to your face. So if you do fart, it's gonna
Oh,
whack
man,
it
just
right
Perfect.
in.
mainline it. Just
is
Yep.
the MRI where you're supposed to hold very fucking still too?
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to
Yep.
hold still
Yeah.
for like
Can't
45
move.
minutes.
Maybe
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can just give me some Valium and then I can just like fucking conk
Well,
out.
if you
while-
I'll
tell
fall
them that
asleep
you're
in that
claustrophobic, they
motherfucker.
don't want you to sleep, Brittany, because
No, you're not
if
supposed to
you
sleep.
sleep shake, then that causes the image to be blurry.
sleep, what's
Yeah.
sleep shake?
Where you
Everybody
move when you
twitches when
sleep.
they go to sleep,
Oh, okay.
and they
gotcha.
want you to stay still. So
I don't think I'll
hey,
fall asleep that
this is
fast.
my
but-
is my jam. This is exactly
I
what
did.
This
I
is what
fell
I
I
do.
know you're the guy to talk to. We did an
Yeah.
X-ray, mostly because insurance wants you to do a fucking X-ray first.
Before MRI
So-
for sure. Yep.
So we learned virtually nothing. My spine
I feel like
appears
this
healthy.
is you just setting up the reason why you're not going to ride again this year.
No, I fucking hope I could. Last weekend was killer because I did actually really want to go out, but I'm so afraid that I'm going to have to like push the bike weird and then fuck up my back more. So,
That's a legit worry.
yeah. We'll see.
Bikes are heavy.
Just don't
Yeah.
have your
Stays
MRI
fucked
done
up
at
all
5
the time.
p.m. because that's your bedtime. You will.
That's right. It's- yeah.
No, that's perfect, Dustin, because then I'll be calm. I'll just be sleeping.
hmm Just say, "Do you have a screen in this bitch? Is a murder she
Maybe
wrote
I
on?"
need half a Valium. Then I'll be calm but not asleep.
man, you need at least 3 of those things and chew them up.
Get you some edibles.
Yeah.
It'll calm you down.
Yep, I don't know. We'll find out one day.
Could you use an edible, or do you get drug tested randomly at your job?
Oh, we're talking about edibles. They've never drug tested other than to get the job, but I've actually heard mixed information about edibles. Like if you already have anxiety, sometimes it can make you like really paranoid and like fuck you up more. So
Those people are pussies.
Yeah, exactly. and they're not actually using them correctly.
Yeah, and they're
That's
not
right.
actually doing it right.
well, maybe.
Yeah,
I
no,
did
those
get
people-
CBD
those people are
lotion for my
wrong.
back
They're
though,
wrong.
How do you rub your own back when your back hurts?
because it's like lower back.
She's got Jared there to take care of that.
It's
man.
not massage lotion. It's CBD lotion that's just supposed to help with
I didn't
whatever.
say anything about massage lotion. That was all you.
Can you not reach parts of your back? There's a
Have you seen me? I can reach every part of my body. My arms are 6 feet long.
yeah. So you could reach your back with lotion. It's not
Yeah,
hard.
but when my back hurts, I'm not rubbing my own back. That's
Yeah, I'm
weird.
not rubbing my own back. I don't even want to rub my own fucking anything.
Front.
Yeah.
Watch, they're gonna find out some really crazy dumb shit with the MRI, and you guys are gonna feel like total assholes giving me a hard time.
I feel nothing, just so you know. So, if you're trying to make me feel guilty, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's going to work.
Just take Tylenol. You'll be all right. Take a few Tylenol.
Hey,
I
Brittany,
wish that fixed it.
Hey, Brittany, if you come down with terminal cancer, I will feel bad.
The fuck,
I fucking
dude?
hope I don't have
What are you-
cancer.
what the
Holy
fuck,
shit.
man?
You went too far the other direction, Ryan.
Wow.
Hey, I told you what it would take for me to feel bad.
I think you just have a bulging disc.
Man, now
the
I
rabbit.
really
Yeah, I
am
think so,
wondering
too.
how your family puts up
That
with
that
you.
went like from 0 to 1,000 in like a half a second, dude.
Yeah.
It's every once in a while I let you guys into the deep dark part of my brain, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're like, whoa, hold on a second.
I got
Maybe
a
you
deep,
should.
dark
Wait,
part
now you know what the limit
anybody can
is.
explore.
Mm.
Tony, your deep dark part only is seen when you bend over.
It's, have you ever seen a
Gross.
snake after it eats a rat? You got a
Oh
little of that
God,
going
that's
on.
a horrible, horrible.
I keep trying to get somebody to rub that knot out, but I can't get any takers.
I wonder why.
Oh.
I wonder
Oh.
why.
So,
I don't
Tony,
understand.
just so you know, we didn't because it wasn't included on the episode we just dropped. But last week when we were talking to Ciro and Adam, I had asked Ciro, who's the founder of Arrow, who's
Arrow.
the founder of Ciro,
Yeah.
if he'd listened to the podcast before, and just to kind of talk through things. And he said he had not until earlier that day, and he had listened to the last episode, which opened with you talking about your wrinkly ass starfish.
Yeah, you and I adjusted, and that's the only episode he listened to. Us three
Oh, well,
fuckers
you're
together, and he was like, "Oh, you should see the look on his face. He was horrified when he first came on, like terrified that what was going to be started to come out of everyone's mouths."
Well,
it was pretty
the
funny.
starfish is a topic that
Yeah.
we.
Hey, Dave, why don't you tell everybody what you said to Arrow that you had to back out of?
I didn't have to back out of anything.
Oh, you did.
I
I
just
think it was off
Dave-
air.
I
Dave-
was just talking about that problem I had on the trip with that fucked up Kuryakin bag
He
that
did.
fucked up my paint on my
Yep.
tour pack.
Yep.
And then later in the episode, when I was asking him how he started Ciro and stuff, he mentioned that his father founded Kuryakin. So,
Yep.
but he sold Kuryakin before that bag was manufactured by like a lot of
Well,
years. So
It's true. It's
You've
true.
had
He
a
did.
problem with bags. Your bags don't stay on very well.
I don't. Well, we'll see. I just got
What was
Adam's
that
new
one
bag,
that popped off?
the Rick
Yeah,
Rack.
is the
The rickrack,
underlying
yeah,
issue
yeah.
actually Dave here with the bags?
It
And then-
seems like it might be
Yeah.
installer error.
'Cause
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying.
He didn't he melt a bag to his exhaust pipe on his Fat Bob also?
Yeah,
A thrashing bag. A thrashing bag. He did.
I put luggage, both business and motorcycle luggage, through some shit.
You put your business through some shit.
My business luggage.
Oh,
But why would you
put your
intentionally
business
melt a
luggage.
bag onto your exhaust? You wouldn't do that intentionally.
Well, clearly that's not an accurate statement. I did not intentionally melt anything on anything.
Just a byproduct of poor installation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
It's
like
a
installer
byproduct of
error
the
to me.
saggy
I
ass
mean-
fucking
I
product.
mean, once I could get like one product being bad, but every one of them,
Every bag. He's had a problem with
every
every bag.
bag
You know?
you put on,
I don't. Oh, I have one bag that's my favorite bag. That's
and that one you were born with.
been perfect. Okay, so that's true. I have two bags that are perfect.
Wait, you
I'm
only have
happy with.
one bag that you
Yeah.
were born with?
It
Yeah,
How many are
happens
we
sometimes.
supposed to have?
yeah. I
How many
mean, you're
bags
supposed
is-
to have, man.
How many bags
One's
does Jared
enough,
have?
believe me.
Jesus.
He's
But
like
I-
the
but I
lady
did-
on Total Recall, but a
Jared's
dude.
got 2 testicle sacks. One small testicle in each sack.
But I do have. I did get Adams the Sandoval El Sandoval bag in this week, so I'm looking forward to putting that
Well,
through. its
call
paces.
somebody else to put it on.
Have you checked it? Have you checked it out, Dave? The
I
bag?
have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then we have a Discord question that specifically asks
I
a
saw
question
that.
you'll be able to answer.
Yep,
so.
I can answer that question when we
Awesome,
get to it.
awesome.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, I think that's a great segue into what we're going to talk about today, since you mentioned El Sandoval. I think one of the things that has started to get a bad rap in the motorcycle realm, and I think probably some other places too, is the idea of influencers. Yeah.
Fuckers.
Well, you know what? So let's just start this off, because I was curious, because I really wanted to know. And so I looked it up. And so this is the actual definition of influencer. An influencer is someone in your niche or industry with sway over your target audience. Influencers have specialized knowledge, authority, and insight into a specific subject. Their pre-existing presence in a niche makes them useful, a launching pad for brands in search of credibility. 85% of marketers engage in influencer marketing in 2017. And it says 92% of their campaigns were effective. So influencers are holding a certain
It's a
amount
real deal,
of serious sway.
Well, yeah, because we all
if
like
the
to hear
influence
from
is
others.
legit, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, yeah, I think we have to
Okay.
differentiate what are we really talking about with influencers, right? Because I
Okay.
think there's an
Yeah.
argument to be made that we could be considered influencers. I know I have a ton of people that
Absolutely.
tell
Without a
me all
doubt.
the time, hey, I bought that Rock, or I bought that bag, or I bought whatever because I saw your video. But I don't go out and promote myself as an influencer. I'm not like smiling and dancing and showing products every day, right? So you've got
Right.
those influencers that actually that's how they make their living, right?
Right.
Is by just throwing a product up on
hawking
screen.
anything they can.
Yeah. So I think we have to draw a distinction between.
Well, I think,
two.
like I've said before, if I bought, or and I've actually done it. I did an install video on something on my bike that didn't work for me, and I did another video talking about how I took that thing off my bike and got something different. And so, I've always said, if I post about something or talk about something, it's because I run it, I use it, I endorse it, it's a good product. So I think, that's still considered, influencing people, because people work hard for their money and everything has gone way up in price. And so nobody wants to buy 9 sets of handlebars, Tony Cox.
No, they don't.
But I think what you and I do, that's organic.
Right.
Right. I mean, we don't do that to create content. We don't go and acquire products to create content or have products sent to us.
No, and I
content.
think that's where it sucks,
Right.
is when companies start reaching out to some of these guys and they're taking these bullshit products, no matter what industry it's in. It's a piece of shit product.
Yeah.
We had a situation that I thought was a piece of shit product. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I didn't think it was worth the money, so I didn't do anything with it. You know what I mean? But some people do. I mean, they get this product and it's a piece of shit, and they push it and people buy it.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think that's when it goes bad. If you're doing a legit product, say like the Road Warrior, because that was the one that was pushed out pretty big and out there in social media. That was a legit product. It was a good product. It was worth the money.
I still use it to this day.
Exactly. It was a great product. Rock was probably one of the biggest influencer driven products out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had
You
a
know?
hell of a marketing campaign.
It was a hell of a
for-
marketing
Yep.
and a lot of
Right out of the
influencers. I
gate.
mean, a lot of people got those that never paid a dime for them. You know what I mean? And they're great now, but they weren't in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a problem too when they become a channel that say they're organic to start with, and then all of a sudden it's like they're just a billboard for every single product out there. To me, that pushes me away from them as well, because you kind of lose that. You don't know if it's authentic anymore or if it's just helping out with marketing.
Well, let's get to the tax of it, though. I mean, you're full-time YouTubers. That's their revenue. That's how they make money. So say, take any product, say Traeger grills. They send somebody a grill to do not only do they get a grill, they usually get about a $10,000 to $15,000 check to make that video.
Right.
So at that stage, what are you going to do? Say it's a piece of shit?
Well,
yeah, that's fair.
You know what I
but-
mean?
And you
But then again,
a
it's
lot of
not-
these people are. It's a money game. I mean, people are making a living doing this.
I
Yeah.
think at that point, though, the argument could be made that I like to think that there's a distinction between an influencer, and I think if you're getting, I'm going to use Tony's example, a Traeger grill, and you get $15,000 to do advertising for them, you've moved beyond influencer. You've moved into advertising and marketing and, sales, and to me that's a much bigger that's a
But
much
you're still
bigger
influencing the people that watches the video.
absolutely.
I mean,
You
Yeah.
hold
that's
you
the
hold
thing.
influencer sway over
Yeah.
them, but I believe that if you're getting paid to make video advertising, you've now moved into that advertising marketing, realm, and I think away from like a standard influencer. That's my opinion on what that looks like. Because I could argue, like Dave said earlier, that just our podcast alone, if we didn't have any videos or YouTube content between the five of us, we could be considered influencers because we hold sway over the audience that listens to the podcast.
I think
We get asked questions all the time about what we think about things.
We would be
Yeah.
considered accidental influencers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
mean,
why would you be influenced by us? I mean, just
Yeah,
even
I
look
mean,
at like how many wild ass seats, right? Did
Right.
Craig sell once we started using those and then talking about them? And it's not like we were out trying to shill, on seats. It's just we were giving our experience with that.
Well, but at the same could be said though, Dave, is that there's an authenticity or legitimacy that goes along with that. How many states have I taken a picture of my bike in that the wild ass seat is on my bike, right?
Yeah.
So the legitimacy comes in is that I'm not just saying it. Why the fuck would I take a picture and take that out of a bag and put it on the seat of my bike just to take a picture? It's on there and it stays on there. I mean, you can tell when you see it. It's faded, it's worn, right? I mean, I use mine all the time. So I think that's where the authenticity from an influencing standpoint comes from.
Hey, since you brought that up and you were giving me shit last week, how many miles do you have on your wild ass?
On mine?
Yeah.
Oh man. If I could calculate
ya.
when we got them, I mean, well, probably less than you, but I would guess that I have 25,000.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess, probably 25,000.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be my
probably right.
guess.
I'm at 28.
Yeah.
I just figured that out in this last trip.
Yeah. I mean, that's my guess about how many I would have on mine.
Yeah, but like I was saying though, accidental influence. You know what I mean? We don't. There at the end when I stopped making videos, and I really wasn't even a big channel. I was like 8,000 or 9,000 subs when I quit.
Well, let me ask you, at that rate of subscribers, would you have considered yourself an influencer?
Well, it got to the point to where anything that I kind of wanted for my motorcycle, somebody would send to me. You know what I mean? All I had to do was reach out. Not everything, but for the gist of it. And I had a lot of comments there on the end that said, this channel's turned in nothing but commercials.
Yeah.
And, it was the truth because it was just product after product after product that I had on the channel. And I mean, you can go and you can see it. I mean, it switched, but I don't know. The influencers is tough because, we all get influenced every day by it. I mean, watch YouTube and Instagram Reels or whatever, and you see a product and you're like, damn, I need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Okay.
hopefully you're smart enough to realize that the person that you're watching is either legit or just shilling shit.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
I mean, still, you just never know because, I mean, I still use Ruroc. I hate to use them because there was some legit influencers pushing that helmet.
Yeah.
Pushing it, is the best thing since sliced bread. And that thing was a hunk of shit. For a
Yeah, I
while.
wasn't in tune with things at that stage when Ruroc kicked off. And I remember like being completely out of the loop. I would still somehow hear about it and wonder like, what the fuck is
Oh, it was
everybody getting on
everywhere. It was
about?
brilliant. It was
Yeah.
brilliant on their end.
Yeah.
The way they saturated the market with it in the industry. It was brilliant. And your high profile guys were wearing it and they were talking about how light it was and how great it was. And I mean, granted, now I have one now and it's a great fucking helmet. It really is. But it took 5 generations to get there. at
Yeah.
$550 a pop.
The interesting thing is I've dropped a couple of reviews this last year on my Re-Rock and one on the visor, and I can't tell you how many people commented on the video or sent me a DM and said, you know what, watching your video changed my mind, and I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But it was because when I do my reviews, I typically don't review stuff the way everybody else does. Like, oh my God, look at this! It's the greatest, flashiest thing. It's an honest. I try to come across as honest and authentic as I am, and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think a lot of what we, who are considered influencers, don't do that. They're like Ryan said, you cross a line, right?
Yeah.
You're not just an influencer. You're out there selling.
Well, you're making
product.
money. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way they make their money. And I mean, you have to, at that point, it's integrity. I mean, at what point are you not for sale? You know what I mean?
Never.
Yeah, you hope that people are accepting the money and doing the reviews because they believe in it. But it's like you said, Tony, I mean, if that's your living and you need to do reviews, maybe you're not lying, but you're not also divulging like things that you don't like about a product.
You would have to ask yourself, if a company came to you and said, we're going to send you this product and we're going to offer you $20,000 for an 8-minute video. I mean, you have to have some strong integrity to turn that down.
Right.
Because that is a lot of money for a few days worth of work.
Right. So, Tony, let me ask you this, because you've recently ventured into a new hobby, right? So would it be called overlanding? Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tony's is it overland camping, or is there I don't know what's
overlanding is what
overlanding. Okay. So, and you have a Tundra, right? No,
I have a
Tacoma.
Tacoma. Yeah.
You have a Tacoma. Okay. And you've got it all kitted out to do overland camping. So you must have done a YouTube deep dive into all of that shit, right?
Oh, it's huge, dude. It's huge.
Okay. Well, I
it's
know the
just
market.
like anything else.
Right.
You
I know the
mean?
market's huge, but
Yeah.
so were you quote unquote influenced by people that you watched on YouTube?
I really was. And actually, I really was with Jeremy a lot with it because he's doing the same thing.
Okay.
So he actually has, people supplying him with a lot of this gear. So I was able to get with him and talk to him about certain things. But no, there's definitely, it's just like this industry, man. I mean, there's definitely some heavy hitters out there that their videos are all over the place and they're pushing, certain products all the time. It's, it's just like anything else.
And how did you decide whether or not what you were watching was legitimate or just them trying to get you to buy this product from this company?
You really don't. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I got a garage full of shit and some of it's in the garage.
Okay.
I bought it and it's not what it was,
not advertised. Not as advertised.
Yeah, it wasn't what it was advertised as.
Okay.
Just like with the motorcycle stuff. I mean,
did you
at one point I had so many exhausts in the fucking garage, I thought I owned an exhaust company,
Right. Did you
That's a
own
lot.
or did you watch videos that were specific to what you wanted to do, not just how you wanted to mod your truck, but what you wanted to do with it after it was modded?
Yeah, so you kind of define the area you want to be in, just like with motorcycles, man. You're either if you're doing distance or if you're doing around the neighborhood or if you're doing bars or what depending on what you want to do with the bike. It's the same with this overlanding thing. I mean, do you want something to take you from A to B that's going to be reliable, that's not going to be a beast off road?
Right.
Or do you want something that's going to be a beast off road? You know what I mean? That's going to take you, rock crawling type stuff. That's a completely different kind of build, but it's not reliable on the road. So
sure,
you got to figure out what you want to do and how comfortable
because,
you want to be.
Well, the reason why I ask is that you've posted a couple pictures recently of you, out essentially camping, out in the wilderness camping or whatever. And so to me, like, that's what I would be thinking about if that's what I wanted to do with that truck. Like when I was trying to decide what type of tent to buy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't actually run into a lot of motorcycle content. I ended up watching a lot of camping content to find out what I thought would work best on a motorcycle, and kind of work that into it. And I found that I was more influenced by the people that were actually doing what I wanted to do, rather than somebody like setting up a tent in their backyard and doing a review of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no,
somebody
more
that was in a
practical videos.
jungle, or what, not jungle, but in a forest, setting up a tent and going through the motions of that, versus somebody just throwing it up in their backyard.
Yeah, 'cause let me tell you what. The first thing that I found out is fucking with all this shit in your driveway is easy.
Right.
But when you're out there in the fucking woods, everything goes wrong. You know what I mean? It's not as easy out there, you know what I mean, as it is in your driveway.
Right.
So, but that motorcycle travel channel, that's a great dude that I've tried to contact him a few times with no luck, but he was that guy that went out on that BMW for like 53 days
Right.
and camped every night for
Right.
53 days. His shit worked. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
for
stuff that he
sure.
was using was legit because he was out there using it in the actual scenarios, which was
Right.
I thought was awesome. But I think with influencers, getting back to it, I think you just have to find a legitimate guys that use the stuff on a daily and are honest about it, because a lot of people, like I said, man, there's a lot of people out there. It's a lot of money floating around out there
Right.
for these guys, especially some of your heavy hitters, your big boys out there.
I don't know about you guys, but I think at this point, if I really think about it, I don't really watch any YouTube channels where it's just someone being an influencer, right? It's like their marketing sells.
Yeah, no, they're out there doing their
Stuff,
thing, and
you
you're
know,
like, oh, that's cool.
Like
that's
if I'm
neat,"
the Brian or Ryan brought up camping, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm looking for something for camping, I'll go, I'll watch As the Magpie Flies. Right? She doesn't ride a
She's
Harley,
crushing it.
but she kills it on camping, and just watching her use stuff and see how she uses it is very educational. And I know she's not pitching a product.
No, she just released
know.
like a camping cookbook.
She did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ryan, you should give that a try so you get off of your jerky and ramen noodle thing.
Oh, dude, I don't do that anymore. We've graduated. We do steak and potatoes, and we're cooking some other stuff. And that actually, the jerky and the jerky and ramen noodles is like when we know that we're gonna go and not make it to the campsite till 10 o'clock at night. That's the like
Hey,
quick
man, don't-
throw it in a pot and get it going, because you're exhausted because you've been riding all day long kind of
do
situation.
not knock that ramen noodles. That is a
Hey.
nutritious dish.
Absolutely. I like
College
like me some
staple.
ramen noodles. I'm telling you, ramen noodles with some beef jerky, it reconstitutes the meat. The fluid does from the
Hey, man.
and you get that protein and the carbs from the noodles. It works in a pinch. I'm not gonna lie.
I remember my good old drinking days. Boy, I'd wake up the next day, I had ramen noodles all over the kitchen.
I bet.
And I was like, where's the ramen noodles at?
So
Hungry.
Dustin, let me ask you this, because you're doing a bunch of stuff for TEDs, and you do YouTube short, or I should say YouTube shorts. You do reels that are posted on Instagram that are very polished and very good. Do you think of that as from an advertiser's perspective or from an influencer's perspective, or a little bit of both?
I think it's just more advertising. Of course, we want people to know that, hey, we have this. Come take a look at it. It's just a way to advertise the business.
Right.
But kind of getting back to it, I don't know how you guys feel about your own channels when you were at your peak or whatever, or at your peak. And I was trying to get at this with Tony earlier, but I never really consider myself an influencer.
No,
I didn't feel
never
I
did
didn't
either.
I didn't feel I had the audience for it. I was sub 4,000 subscribers. I mean, who the fuck was I?
But I mean, still, the 4,000 people that watched you still looked at the products that you used.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't like push them, people still notice like what boot you had on, or what gloves you're wearing, or what helmet, or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be a very
And I
minute
get that.
thing, but
I guess the way I look at influencers is it's more of you got to have a sizable audience that's regular.
I look at it that way too.
That's
Dustin.
national,
Well, I
but
mean,
you
those
want
are the guys that are getting paid, though.
yeah, you want
know
you
what
want
I
to know
mean?
something though, Dustin, from a small business person's perspective, like the small business, they will tell you it's better to have 1,000 fiercely loyal customers that are going to buy and do everything that you do than 10,000 that are wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Does that
Because
make
I'm going to be
sense?
honest with you,
Yeah.
there are influencers in our niche. I don't know how the fuck they have the audience they do.
Absolutely.
Oh
it's
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Because I'll watch some of these people's videos and I'm like, I took nothing from this. I feel
Yeah.
dumber watching this video.
Right.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you, like as Ryan mentioned, I've been watching all these other videos now on this truck stuff, and production value. Let me tell you what, it is hard to top the motorcycle people. I'll tell you. Just
Really?
noticing, yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys, they don't put that much effort into their vid. I mean, they're great videos. Don't get me wrong, but they're not very polished.
Mhm.
Right.
It's not a polished. There's a couple of guys out there that make these very polished, lots of grand drone shots and things like that. But the bulk of it is pretty raw stuff. You know, people just out there with a rough GoPro and.
Well, I mean, a lot of these people, they have zero tech experience before
Yeah.
GoPro surfaced. I mean, it's anybody can get famous easy these days.
yeah,
And,
I mean,
it's
there's still
kind of
sizable
destroyed. I mean,
channels.
if you think about it too, it's kind of destroyed the aura that rock stars, movie stars have had because everybody's looking to YouTube these days.
yeah,
Like
no,
rock
and I
stars,
mean,
rock stars and movie stars don't seem to have that aura that they had back in the 90s and 80s. They just don't.
It's because they
fuck
quit
those
doing dope.
cocksuckers.
The coke went away. They went
Coke
away.
went away.
Yeah.
We're all
And
the
now
Rick
pot's
Jameses at
legal.
these
So
days,
what the hell?
Cocaine and hookers.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Dustin, to your point, and I would agree with you. And the reason why is that, you know, they held a much larger sway and had bigger audiences. I mean, one could argue there's, you know, some of the biggest TikTokers or some of the biggest people on YouTube, they might have some bigger audiences right now than a band that's being regularly played on a pop radio station.
hmm
You know, and I think that's the thing is that, and that's where it gets to be really, really screwy, right? Because you're, you know, to be a musician, you have to have legitimate talent. I mean,
Mhm.
you could, you know,
So
I mean,
so
look at-
speaking of that,
look
what's a gold record?
100,000.
hmm
100,000 sales, and you
Yeah.
got a gold record.
What's platinum?
So
Yeah.
what's a platinum record?
1 million, I think.
I think
A
it's
million.
How is
So
it
I'm going
these-
to put this in perspective. There is a dude that does these camping videos.
Yeah.
His name it's Outdoor Boys or something, right?
Yeah.
He'll release a video this week, and next week it'll have 5 million views.
But what's
Yeah,
the
well, let me-
difference between buying
what
like
I'm
an
saying-
album and viewing, though? You know what I mean? Like it's so much easier to just
but
go
the
view
reach, I
something
mean,
now.
it's a really valid point because if you look
Right.
at like the top selling band of all time worldwide is the Beatles.
Yeah,
They have sold 180 million albums.
yeah,
Right.
180 million.
Yeah. So you think about it, like what Tony was saying, you know, the exposure to your content, some of these YouTubers are blowing that out in a week,
They're blowing it out in a week.
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
You know, with a
Well,
lifetime
Dave, have you
sales.
surpassed a million views yet?
I'm right at, I'm getting very close.
Right. So Dave's almost gone platinum and he has under 4,000 subscribers.
I don't even know what. Let me
That's
look and see
crazy.
what I
Right.
haven't even checked mine in forever.
I-
Whoa, what just
That's-
happened?
That's
Dave
honestly
did a
worth
rock
looking
star thing, and all of a sudden he just
He
turned
sure
into a
did.
rock star. Yeah, I mean the same. I'm right there too. I'll pass 1 million this year. I'm under 4,000 subscribers. I'll go platinum this year. I mean that's the
Yeah.
thing, you know. I mean,
But you know, I get so a lot of my traffic. It get back to Dustin's question earlier. I don't consider myself an influencer at all. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't consider myself that. However, there's not a week that goes by that I don't get any number of people reaching out to me, especially around the old Fat Bob content, right? Wanting to, hey, I saw this. I want to get that. How can I get that? I love what you did here. So there's definitely that organic relationship, right? Going from an influencer perspective. But I think that that label of being an influencer just has a lot of negativity
I think
associated with it.
right, and I think I agree with you in some sense, Dave, and I completely disagree with you in another sense. I never went out to become an influencer, but like Tony said, accidental influence, it happens, right?
It's organic. That's what I said before. It's organic.
Well, it's organic, right? So you're saying you don't consider yourself an influencer because of the negative connotation that's attached to it.
I don't consider myself that influencer label of the people that we're talking about that are just out, hey, here's product B that I just got. Go buy this.
But no, I mean, you could be an influencer and you don't even have to have a video about it. Like you could show up for a ride and people know that you're part of the podcast or you did video and they see something, a certain bag on your bike and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to have to get that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's weird shit like that, but I don't know. I think there's some companies out there that are pushing bad products.
Well, you think it's bad in our community, and Tony, I know you get this, and Dustin, fucking photography and videography,
it's everywhere,
and anything tech. There are more morons pushing tech product that don't understand a goddamn thing about it, and people are just buying shit left and right.
And the thing that sucks is some of these products, I mean, they're not cheap, man. When you go out and you buy these things, you're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on them. They're not cheap. And then you get them and you really want to like them because, you paid that much money for them. Then a couple months later, you're like, man, I got really ass fucked on these things. These are terrible.
And if you wait 6 months, that same influencer is going to be telling you about
the next
a better thing that's a direct competitor of the thing that he just pushed you to buy.
This is the thing, though. It's never been easier in our history to have a voice than it is right now.
That's true.
And that's the thing.
There's so many.
People,
it's hard to weed through the bullshit.
Right.
I mean, people listen to ours, and we're 99% bullshit.
But we're upfront about that, man. We tell people that.
That's true.
I'm upfront about it.
Okay, but we're upfront about it, Tony. But that goes back to what we said 3 times. There's an authentic part of it. I mean, the people from Cycle Source who probably you don't get any more genuine in the motorcycle industry than the Callens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around a long time. They've seen it all. They've done it all. And that was one thing they said about us. One of the things they liked about us was our content was not, what we were doing was authentic and genuine.
And it's because we're not getting paid. We're not getting paid by somebody. Just like when I say fuck Indian. A lot of people are afraid to say that. You know what I mean? Because they may want a sponsorship from them. They can run that bike right up their ass as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, speaking of, I rode an FTR for the first time last week.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Are you gay now?
Oh my god!
I don't think so.
You did an FTR and a Can-Am.
He's not real sure. You rode an FTR to Can-Am in the same week.
Yeah, I got on a Can-Am over the weekend, Tony. I went out for a demo ride with a customer.
Oh my god!
Oh wow! What did you think of that? Seriously,
dick triloquist. You're able to speak clearly with a dick in your mouth.
Oh boy,
is that too much?
Maybe that should
That's
get cut out.
hilarious. Is what that is.
What is it? Dick triloquism?
Oh wow!
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. You can edit that out.
The FTR is a tall bitch, though. I have to almost tiptoe it. It didn't. I was kind of surprised. It was in sport mode, and it didn't have of course, it doesn't have the torque that the Harleys do, but I was expecting a little more power out of it. At takeoff, it just didn't have it. Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you what. After you ride some of these fucking M8s, everybody disappoints you in torque because they're just monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got one of those new CVOs in a legendary orange, and I got on it. It wanted to move. It's got that 121 in it, so it's
with the VTV
torques are monsters on some of these newer bikes.
Yeah, I'm going to go do a test ride on a 24 road glide this weekend. And see what that's all about.
Oh man,
Dave,
you might as well trade that old scarred up bike of yours in, Dave.
Yeah,
Jesus, you rubbed all the
paint
off.
Call the painter.
She got scratches.
Call the painter and get that 24 paint job priced up.
Well, just to let you all know, HD will be doing test ride days the middle of May.
Actually, that's where I'm going
With
to one.
incentives, too.
Yeah, I'm doing that and the only reason I'm doing this is because they're giving away like a challenge coin and then incentives and shit or free shit. So
Yeah, they'll be giving away T-shirts.
yeah,
Dave's gonna
t-shirts.
Dave's gonna price out an RG3 while he's there.
No, I'm waiting. I make. In fact, I was talking with folks about that this weekend when we went riding. It's in my future. It's just a matter of when that time comes.
Do it before you drop that beautiful bike of yours, Dave. Before
It's
you
already
before you
scarred
find
up,
out that
so.
way it's too heavy.
Yeah.
Dave, let me ask you: do you think your bike would be a hard sell for, somebody else? Because you've made it so much years. Like, don't you have like kanji painted on it or something?
I do, and I noticed that whoever bought my Fat Bob that had that kanji on the Road Warrior put fucking stickers all over it to cover it up.
That's their choice, though.
I don't know. I don't know that it would be a hard sell. I mean, it's a one of a kind. I mean, it's very unique. Just this weekend, I was riding with a group, and I've yet to have someone ride my bike for me to follow, and we should do that while we're in South Dakota. Ryan, we should swap bikes or something.
Sounds good.
But they were going on and on and on when we stopped for a stretch break about the people behind me, about how they said, dude, your bike looks like it's on fire. When the sun is hitting it, it's like this shimmer, which I've never
That's
seen.
cool.
I think there's just a lot of unique elements to that bike, which I don't think it would be a hard sell. But
No, everybody likes unique shit, though.
I tell you, where it will be a hard sell if I ever decide or when I decide to trade it in or sell it is it's definitely going to be high mileage.
Yeah.
It will not be a 5-year-old bike with 2,500 miles on it.
I think
Yeah.
I think Dave, that the idea of that though has faded a little bit, right? I think that people maybe don't look at mileage like they used to.
I don't know, bro. I'm over 30 in 2 years. By the time I'm done this year, I'll be over 40,000 miles for sure.
Yeah.
In
Well,
I mean,
3
we've got
seasons.
bikes
So.
into the dealership with over 50K on them, and they run awesome.
Yeah, but
Right.
for how much longer?
How
If you
old?
maintain stuff, I mean, that's the thing with like mechanical devices. If you're on top of it, like Dave's doing all the maintenance, he's doing all the shit that he needs to
On
because he
schedule.
wants his bike to run. So if you maintain things, I mean, yeah, there may
It
be
still
parts
gets
that you have to
loose.
replace,
Yeah.
but
Do you
it's
not
not
do
just
regular
gonna
maintenance
fall
on your
apart.
back? Or you not, like, is that the? let me
thank you
Touche.
for that one.
Touche.
That was
Stretch before you
Let me
peg.
ask you guys back to the influencer thing. Why don't we go around the table? One influencer, good or bad connotation or whatever, that you guys is kind of your go-to or that you enjoy watching on YouTube.
for anything.
Could be
or
for
you-
anything. Could be
I'm
for
just
anything.
making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Influencer.
Okay, I'll go first since you guys are thinking. You're probably never going to guess this, but the current person that I watch the most, and it's just from scrolling Facebook because I watched one of the reels once. I actually watch a gymnast like all the fucking time now.
That's why your back's fucked up.
Probably.
Are you trying to do what she does?
It's not a she, it's a he. Well,
Are
there's
you trying
a
to do
couple
what
of
he
them.
does? That could be a problem. Wrong
No,
apparatus.
I'm just fascinated that like I think gymnasts are really the skills
what
that
are
they
you
have are
buying
really
that's
neat.
influencing?
And he's an influencer.
I would think that he is. Didn't we
And
just
what's he
say?
selling? A leotard?
I mean, he teaches. No, but he teaches gymnastics.
Back pain cream.
Yeah.
Ben Gay.
Okay. That's it.
So
That is a
I
surprise.
watch Niall Wilson's reels like all the fucking time, and his sister, she did not grow up doing gymnastics, but she's now like as an adult learning gymnastics with her brother and their friends. So it's kind of cool just to watch them and to seriously answer the question. So no, I'm not like going out and buying shit, but I think it's motivating. So it's also one of those things where it kind of like encourages you, to like fix your fucking back when it's messed up and different things like that.
Okay.
That's who I see
Brian?
the most often.
Who you got?
Let me see. If I were to say the motorcycle influencer that I can have
Does it have to
continued
be
to,
motorcycles?
No.
well,
No,
no, it
he
doesn't
said
have to
anybody.
be.
Nope.
That's why I shared
Anybody that we
mine.
watch to. So, I'm just gonna say motorcycle, just because I just want to throw that out there, because I know we've all talked about how we've kind of moved in and out of that realm. I would say the motorcycle influencer that I've watched the most of consistently, and I'm not doing this. I'm not saying this because we just had him on, but I would say that Adam Sandoval is probably the one that I watch the most of. And I think only because he there was a few things that I kind of latched onto, of things that he was doing, and then I just kind of started, kind of following along or doing that myself, or wanting to do those things like motorcycle camping or things like that. So I think that is probably he's probably been the one that I've started watching, stopped watching, kind of gone back to. And then there's a outside of motorcycles, there's a channel I follow called Life in the Wild. And it's bushcraft and outdoor camping stuff. And it's actually um there's no
Sorry.
Did you say bush?
bushcraft. So
Bushcraft.
bushcraft camping. But there's no it's not in English. I believe he's either in the Russia or Slovakia or
Do
the
you read it?
Ukraine.
Like, do
What's
you
that?
watch the? Do
It's
you watch?
it's
Sorry.
there's no he doesn't talk at all.
Oh,
Ryan speaks Russian.
interesting.
Didn't you know
Making
that?
What's
Well,
that?
because you can turn on like closed captions, so I didn't
Yeah,
know
no, he
if
doesn't
maybe
talk.
he.
He
Okay.
doesn't talk. He always builds something, and then at the end he makes like a meal, some sort of meal food of stuff that he's brought that he like puts together, like, so stuff that you can cook by a campfire. But he shows all these different bushcraft ways of creating a campfire. And one of the things he did, and it's actually really cool, is he took a regular round log, he split it into 4 pieces, then he took those chunks and he cut a slit out of each one of them, then put it back together and tied a wire around it. Then he trimmed a little bit of wood off it, stuffed it down into the inside of the hole, and you light that on fire, and then you put your pan right on top of that log, and it burns for hours. And now it doesn't burn out, but he cooks on it.
Huh.
You can warm, you can sit by it and be warm, and it'll burn for hours and hours and hours. And so, but there's no talking at all. So you actually have to be paying attention to the content. One might say it's a little bit ASMR because there's a lot of like the
Yeah.
audio is really on point, because you hear him when he's walking through the woods, and you hear him when he's chopping wood, and when he's cooking food and that kind of stuff, and you hear all the drilling and pounding and hammering and sawing and everything that he does. But so that would
So
be
you can hear him
That's
chopping the
cool.
wood and whacking the bush.
Yeah.
the
Sometimes
chopping
you gotta whack the
chopping
bush,
wood
man.
in bush. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, that's good.
that damn mountain beaver.
Tony, what about you?
Motorcycle wise, probably the guys I watch the most are the thrashing guys. I think they're doing some great videos out there, that their vlogs are really fun. At least I think they are. I mean, I watch the shit out of them, and they're really not there influencing, but they do, because obviously it's thrashing, it's their products. But they make some good stuff. At least I think so. You know what I mean? At least their videos are. Outside of motorcycle, there's a guy called Ozark Overland Adventures that I've been watching. He's into the overlanding stuff, and he is one of those guys that I trust his stuff because he uses it all.
Okay.
And I mean, he goes out and he'll spend weeks living out of the back of his Jeep. You know what I mean?
And he drives a Jeep, not a taco truck.
Yeah, he's in a Gladiator.
Okay.
So, but he uses it all, and I mean, he talks about it all, and he tells the truth. At least I feel he does. The stuff that he uses that I've bought's been legit. I haven't gotten anything funky that he's recommended. So those are probably the two that I watch right now, at least
Nice.
the most of.
Cool.
I do like those thrashing videos, man. They do a good job.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Dustin?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I really don't watch much YouTube anymore. It seems like the further I've gotten
He's
away
out.
from doing content, I don't really watch much of it. If I
No.
do, it's just like old shit I used to watch when I was in my 20s or something, just for nostalgia. But
Do you catch the reels on Facebook? Because that's what always gets me.
I stay away
on
from
Facebook,
Reels.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't. I really don't scroll on Facebook that much anymore. It's usually TikTok, and that just puts me to sleep at night.
Nice.
Fuck those reels.
But I mean,
those reels are like fucking crack, man.
I mean, there was a
Yeah,
time.
I know. That's why I have a million gymnastics
stay
ones
away
now.
from them. Yeah.
You watch
there was
it
there
once.
was a
and
time
it's like-
where Peter McKinnon was like a staple in my to
Right.
watch,
Yeah.
just because the guy's so goddamn creative.
He was
Um,
creative, but you know, he's also one of those heavy hitters, dude. I mean,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
he'll
He
do a
is.
video on something and get paid 40 or
Tons
50
of money.
grand to do
Yeah.
one video on a product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Well,
so,
what,
I
and
mean-
what's he have like 50 million followers now or
He's
something?
got like 3 or
Yeah.
4 million, but I mean, but those are those heavy hitters I'm talking about. I mean,
yeah, but it's the videos that he does where he's not pushing anything, and he's really sharing his
Oh, yeah,
talents
no,
with the
I'm
audience. Those are
with
the
you.
those are the videos that I gravitate to. I mean, it's the same with when I was watching moto content regularly. It's the same thing. Like
You know,
there was still a time when I was watching a lot of people where I would just like a good old fashioned moto vlog. I mean,
Yeah.
people really aren't doing that anymore.
because Casey Neistat was one of them too, big heavy hitter, but he never pushed products really, hardly
Yeah.
ever.
He did product placement. But
A
he didn't
little
push
bit,
products,
yeah. But I mean, it wasn't something where you tuned in to see what was the next best
No.
thing.
No. And I think that's, for me, I don't know if there's anybody that I really Adam I'll go to. Like if I'm interested or I'm researching something, I'll check Adam Sandoval's channel to see if he's done content on that. But for motorcycles, I don't think I really have a go-to, but for photography, and Tony, I know you watch this guy, Camera Conspiracies.
Oh, that guy's
Casey over
great,
Cam. I
man.
mean,
Yeah.
besides the fact, just the humor, I love the humor. The guy knows his shit and he doesn't pull punches.
No, he doesn't.
Right.
He tells the truth. Yeah.
And then along those lines too, Ricky Talks, which, in the Nikon community is a very, very thorough, very almost scientific in his approach to how he deep dives on products and then gives a review or whatever. I mean, those are, to me, those are like trusted sources. But
I wish who I wish would resurface with more regular content is Maxwell.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know
I
what's
think he
going
got
on.
too busy.
I heard he
He's
cut
too
his
busy.
hair. Somebody told me he cut his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cut it all off.
Yeah,
He's
Trimmed
working.
his beard and cut his hair recently.
Yeah.
he's a businessman now. All right, so there you go. There's our preferred influencers. Or
Preferred. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that 3 Blind Men and an Elephant, Percy?
no,
God.
This sounds like
It's
a
a very
trap.
weird
Is that on the
name, but
tube?
he
is that
does,
YouTube or RedTube? Which one is that on?
No, he's on YouTube. He's a street photographer in New York City, and he does a lot of talks about like the
check that out.
Fuji's, and
Hey, is he
he
Tony? Is
shoots
he
a
the guy
lot
that,
of his stuff in black and white. A lot of black and white videos. It's
Yep.
He's pretty.
I just subscribed. That looks. Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of channels like that, especially when I was shooting Fuji heavily.
Well, I mean, he talks about all the, the photography cameras.
Yeah.
Not a lot of video stuff.
Right. Nope, I just subscribed. Thanks for
Yeah.
the.
No.
is he the one that walks up to random people and just asks them if he can take their pictures?
No, this guy's more of a, I don't know. You gotta kind of watch it. It's a different style. He does a lot of his videos in black and white and some talking head stuff, and he talks about composition and it's pretty cool. I like watching him. I think it's just interesting stuff. But
So I think the takeaway basically is that I think that there's been a negative connotation added to the word influencer, right?
well, I think
especially
so. I think
recently.
people have gotten ass fucked so much on some of these products, man, that it starts to hurt after a minute.
Right. And so, my advice to anybody is that do your due diligence, right? I actually had this happen to me very recently where a guy asked me a question based on my thumbnail. And so I told him to watch the video because the answer was in the video. So he kind of we went around in this circle. What video?
Dick answer.
So then he goes into that video and asks the same question. And finally, I just was like, I'm done with you. I can't do this anymore because you're unwilling to watch the content. You don't want to put your homework in or do the work. You just want somebody to give you the easy answer. And hey, I'm more than willing to
you're not. Obviously
correspond
you're not.
with people, but I want, just like anything, like do your homework a little bit, do your research, come to the table with something to offer, not just, hey, the most generic question that there is. Right? You post a picture of your ODI grips and they go, hey, what kind of grips are those? Dude, it says right under the picture, these are ODI grips. You know what I mean? Like that's where it gets to be a little bit
I get that.
tedious.
I get that. I get questions still all the time on some of my videos of, will this work on so-and-so bike? Fuck, I don't know. Didn't work on mine, to be real
fucking
honest.
Look.
I'm getting hammered with people about Cardo on that for like the last 3 months. Will the Cardo Edge work with the? Because I did those couple of videos where I was on hooking up the Cardo to the GoPro, and now it's like I don't work for Cardo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or I don't work for GoPro.
It might work. You should buy it and try it.
Yeah.
But there you go. Influencers, buy everything you see.
Hey, we should answer some Discord questions because we got a few that are timely to. FDBM, which Dave is 3 months away. Dave just reminded me of that
3
today.
months away.
Gosh,
3 months away for
in,
FDBM.
man.
goes by so fast.
We're going to be
We got
having
Derby coming up here in a couple weeks. Here, it's that time of year.
Yeah, we're going to have Greg and Andy from the Iron Horse Inn on as guests next week, and so there'll be some big announcements, some things that you guys don't know about FDBM, and some surprises in for you guys. So if you haven't made your room reservations, get out there and make your room reservations.
Hotel's filling up. If you haven't made your
And
reservation, you need to make it now.
Yeah,
that fucking logo we have for FDBM this year is probably the coolest logo we've had ever.
it's fucking.
Yeah,
it
the
is
designer
super.
knocked it out of
I mean,
the
that
park.
thing is fucking dope.
That
is
is
really
awesome.
cool.
one of the coolest. Yeah, I mean that would be something if somebody doesn't even go or doesn't even watch the video, it'd be like, man, I'd like to have that shirt.
Everybody knows who's who in here, right?
What's
what
that?
skull is? Everybody knows what skull is what skull.
Well,
right?
mine's pretty obvious.
I don't know. Brittany's is pretty obvious. Like, give us a lowdown. Give us a lowdown.
Yeah, I don't
Dustin.
know.
Dustin, are you to the right of me?
I think Ryan's on the end there, isn't he?
Ryan has a beard,
Ryan's,
No,
Ryan's
the one in the-
first.
Ryan's the tallest. Yep.
so he must be on the left. Dave, you must be all the way on the right.
I'm the second one from the end. I'm on your other side.
That's the part that I'm not sure on.
That's
'cause-
because
No, that's-
originally the beard was longer and pointed, and then in the final design, he
So
trimmed it up.
which one? Which end?
He's
Right
right
under
next
the
to me,
4.
Brittany.
That one should be Tony.
So
I
are
don't
we
know
going-
why. I just
Are
think
we
that
going
one's
left
Tony.
to right?
If you're going left to right, it's Ryan, Tony, Brittany, me, Dave.
Oh, I was right. You
Me
guys
on the
suck.
end?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't usually wear glasses. You don't have a mustache.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Justin,
about right.
yours threw me off a little bit. I think because
the hair.
Ryan's
It
hair
has
is
that
longer
70s
now.
Porn hair going on.
Well, and Ryan's hair is longer now, so you see a lot more of the waves in it. So it totally threw me off. Because yours looks a little bit wavy. Just the
Ryan's
angle
got
it's
that
at.
George Washington look going on.
Yeah,
a
he
little
does.
bit.
He's
He
ready to
does,
cross the
dude.
Delaware.
He does.
Looks
That's
like
funny.
some
Delaware.
bitches crossing the state line.
You ride with me, you're gonna cross state lines for sure.
Yours somehow looks the most serious too.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know.
He looks like he's breathing through the pressure.
He does, doesn't he?
Hey, we've gotten. I think.
look who's
Just
behind
breathe
you,
through
Tony.
the tip.
Tony,
After
look who's
that, it
behind
gets
him.
easier. I promise.
Let's spin. We're gonna leave this audio in, and everybody listening, just audio is gonna be totally lost.
Well,
But
you
if
know
you
what?
We're
want-
gonna
That
have to
means
go
they gotta
look
go to
up the
YouTube.
picture.
That
Yeah,
means they
look
gotta
at
go
the
to
picture.
YouTube.
And if you want your own copy of that on a shirt, go to 5dirtybikers.com, hit the
It's a cool logo.
FDBM24 merch.
You're gonna have to pick it up at the meetup.
menu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna have to
We're,
pick it up at the meetup.
These are not shipping. They're pre-sales for delivery at the meetup in Whitewood, South Dakota.
Well, it's a cool shirt. I remember when we first got it back, and as soon as I opened it, I was like, God damn, that's a doozy right there, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Yep. So let's get to those.
Let's get to those
questions.
Discord
Yeah,
questions.
shit, we better. It's past my bedtime, you guys.
It was
Brittany's
past your
disc is
bedtime when
gonna
we
pop
started.
out.
It's
I mean,
also fucking killing my back.
I was going to say, I'm just proud you haven't fallen out of the chair yet.
It's rough. It's worse when I stand up. I look like a 90-year-old lady because I'm like, oh
I think
my
I'm
god.
gonna start a lubricant and call it cock snot. You think people would buy it?
Maybe.
Probably not.
I could influence it right here. No,
There's a couple of big one, long questions. I think we should stay away from those. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
should because it's late.
here's
Those long
Mike
questions.
Oxlong says, "What are the best ways to clean a helmet inside and out?"
dryer
I
sheets
honest-
inside, man.
I remember
should-
Tony
Oh,
saying
really?
that.
Yeah.
So when you
dryer
get done
sheets
with a
on the
ride,
inside.
yep. So
Yeah.
tell them what your process is for that.
When I get back from a ride, I'll stick a dryer sheet in it, and I'll tell you when you put that sumbitch back on, it's fucking April fresh.
But
Yep.
it's
It
not
really
clean.
does help. Do what?
No, but I
it's
guess
not clean.
what we're learning is that Tony has a very stinky head when he takes his helmet
Well, no.
off.
I mean, when it gets really funky, I take the insides out and I wash them, and usually I put them in the dishwasher.
There you go.
I
Dishwasher.
just
'em
run
on the
mine
top rack
into
of the
some warm
dishwasher.
water with some Dawn and
Yeah.
run
Some
some
dong? You running in dong water?
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
water.
You wrap it around your dong and you move it real fast.
That gets it clean, Tony?
Practicing the
Gets it clean,
helicopter.
and it has a built-in fabric softener that you get.
Oh God.
Oh. I don't know that that's a built-in fabric softener.
Gross.
Don't they
But
make
no.
a soap that's shaped like a ring that goes over your,
That's called a cock ring, isn't
I
it?
don't want to know about this.
Where the fuck do you buy your soap from, bro?
Adam and Eve.
Dr. Squatch.
Lion's
Dr.
Den?
They
Squatch.
probably do make one, Dustin.
Dr. Squatch
They like to
dick
make
washer.
Yeah.
Let me Google.
Here's one for Dave. This is a traveling question.
The
Roland
wiener
says,
cleaner. That's it. Wiener cleaner.
Wiener,
Wiener
cleaner.
cleaner.
There you go.
Do
Wiener-
not
it's the
Google
wiener
wiener
washer.
cleaner.
It's the
Do
wiener
not
washer.
Google it.
So Roland asks, do you use a bike cover when you stay at a hotel?
Actually, that's a really good question because I bought a Nelson rig half cover for
Okay.
my bike for this last trip,
Right.
and I used it to protect it from a hailstorm that was moving in,
Okay.
and it worked really, really well.
All right. Here's my thought on that. And I'm very particular about my bike, right?
Yep.
I don't want my shit to get dirty. Now I get what he's saying. If there's a storm coming through or something, you're trying to protect it, that's fine. But when you're in a hotel and you cover something up in the parking lot, you're just asking for people to look at it. What's underneath that cover? Why is it covered up?
Okay. So I understand what you're saying. I understand
I
what
think
you're
it
saying.
draws attention.
No, just put a Honda cover on it. People leave it alone.
or an Indian
There
cover,
you
yeah.
go.
But
You could put an
Tony,
Indian
have you
cover on
ever
it.
have you ever gone to a covered car or a covered bike and looked underneath it?
Well, no, but what I'm saying is if you were a thief cruising these parking lots at night
Right.
and you see something covered up, it automatically says, maybe I should look at that.
Does it make it more like?
know-
Do you think that that's one just extra step that they don't want to have to fuck with?
See, I don't know. I'm the same way with
I don't know.
like the boxes on my truck that I keep tools in.
Yeah.
I don't put padlocks on them because
Okay.
if you put locks on them, that just tells people there's something valuable in there.
Have you had any problems with people
Never.
stealing your tools?
No, and that's the reason I have insurance too. But I mean, the thing is, I think if you advertise something by adding locks and covers and shit like that, it just draws attention to people that are looking for
I mean,
shit.
if there are a lot of people use covers at hotels. Now, 9 times out of 10, I'm usually staying at a hotel where I've got status and I park my bike underneath the overhang.
Listen,
Yeah,
to
that's
this
the
motherfucker.
smart
shit.
thing to do.
I'm not an
yeah.
influencer. I've got
I'm-
status.
I'm just telling you, use your perks where you can.
Yeah.
But in this case, I was staying at a lot of different hotels and stuff where I didn't. And and I'm really glad I bought this, but I did a lot of research. Actually looked at, bought one Harley one and took it back, and ended up with this Nelson rig. But the half cover definitely, I think, is a better way to go than the full cover.
Influencer. Hashtag influencer.
Watch for the video next week.
Watch for the video.
Watch for the video next week.
No,
Nelson
I mean,
rig.
I think if you're trying to protect from a storm, that's great. But
Use discount code Percy.
yeah, purchase code Percy.
Wiener soap.
Wiener.
Yeah.
Wiener washer.
Wiener cleaner. Pecker
So-
bather.
There's two more questions I want to get to here. One of them Dave can answer again, and the last one's going to be for Dustin. So the next one's from Stryker, and this person says, "Love to know if the El Sandoval bag has tie downs on the inside bag." He said you can take it apart if you need to, and there's a second bag in it. So when Sandoval was on, he described his bag as having a liner in it. The liner is removable, which acts as a second bag. So does that second bag have tie downs?
So the TPU bag inside has the ability to roll and strap down on the ends.
Do that again with your hands.
Is it a bag or a sack?
Okay.
It's a pterodactyl.
You roll
Is
it
it a
and then you do the
sack or a
pterodactyl.
bag?
And then you strap it.
Looks like you're going to the slopes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you know what? I don't know. Watch the video next week.
Oh shit!
I
Here he is.
can't remember now
Hashtag
if
Oh,
it,
influencer.
followed.
I
Hashtag
can't
followed.
remember now if it
Hashtag
actually
influencer.
has like the tie down loops
Yeah.
on the outside. The straps, it definitely does.
Okay.
So you can take that bag out, and then I use rock straps to
Oh,
tie
yeah.
my stuff down. So
Hashtag influencer.
rock straps.
We have
See?
rock straps
Discount
too.
code
I mean,
Percy.
man, we've already hit like 4 or 5 products.
There you
just
go.
Yeah.
Boom. Just 2 questions, 9
Yeah. There
you go.
products.
But
Yeah.
I've often found with rock straps, it doesn't matter, right? If it has like tie down loops or what, you can
Sure.
strap that thing down.
Hey,
with
those rock straps, are they soft so they don't scratch the paint?
They are.
Hashtag influencer.
Oh, by the way, just to give somebody a shout out that we did have on this show, Peripheral Apparel, that shirt I bought is awesome. I
Nice.
bought the black shirt that's got her logos all over
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh, dude,
The-
I
the
just wore
glow-in-the-dark
that
one?
out with the family just casually. I love
Yeah.
that shirt.
So let me throw this
Nice.
out because I've been
I
talking
bought one
about
too.
We're
those
just really
gloves.
gloves.
boring
Shirt.
ourselves out here on these questions. aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been talking about those gloves to a lot of people for like the last 3 weeks,
Yeah.
while I'm out traveling or riding with people. And
Yeah.
everybody wants to see the co-branded, the collaboration between us and her with the put your fucking cell phone down inside the glove.
That
We should
would
talk
be
to her
fun.
about that.
I could have
Okay.
used that a dozen times this past week.
Okay, well we'll
Yep.
we'll have to talk to her. Maybe that'll be a next year product. So
You know, something that's cool too is she's coming to judge a bike show for us in June.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That's
Really
fun.
cool.
Yep.
So this is the last question. This is by Porta Potty Bandit. I think this
Nice
person's
name.
fairly new.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be new. I haven't
The
heard that name.
brownback bass
Or they
fisher.
changed it.
Yeah, brownback bass fisher, as
Yeah.
Tony would like to call
Did he
him.
get the blue dot special?
Oh,
So-
he sure did.
Here's the
Like
question.
Bill Dance in that Porta John.
Here's the question. Last weekend, my wife and I helped her friend move. Her friend has a 6-year-old boy with autism. I rode my bike to her house, and that's all he was interested in was the motorcycle. I bought him a little Harley toy and a Harley shirt. My wife tells me his father wants nothing to do with him. So me wanting to be more involved with this little guy's life, my question is, would I be able to safely give him a ride up and down the street without him bailing, or should I have his mom hold him? What would be Dustin? What would be the best way for him to work with this little guy?
What's the relationship he's got with this little boy?
It's his it's one of their friends' sons. So
Okay.
it's he and his wife have a friend, and she has a boy with autism.
How old is he?
6.
Yeah,
you
that's
said?
gonna be my
You
question.
say
6?
6?
Does he say 6-year-old? He's 6 years old.
This is tough to answer even from an autism parent because they're not all alike.
Right.
Right.
So, like my boy, he has no interest in riding on the motorcycle with me. He doesn't like the noise.
Right.
right.
I mean, there's some that are fine with the noise.
Right.
So,
I think that's a tough one.
It's
I
tough.
think-
It's tough for me to answer, give
When
any
you're-
advice on that because I just, like I said, they're all different. So you just can't. There's no one size fits all answer for that.
So
Right.
say the little guy. So he said he's showing interest in it. Would it be
Uh-huh.
like a, kind of case by case situation? Like start the bike, have him sit on it. I
Yeah.
mean, just like you would with any other kid,
Yeah,
basically,
just like
right?
you would, approach it like you. If I did it with him like that, I would just approach it like I would with my other son.
Sure.
Get him on the bike, maybe just start it up with him on it first, just so that he knows how loud it's actually going to get from where he's sitting, and then go from there. If he's brave enough to want to actually go, just go down the street, come back, or go across town if you live in a small
Right.
town where there's not a lot of traffic. Come back.
Well, and you can
Keep the speed slow. That way, if you hear from behind you, I don't like it, stop.
Right.
Right.
Well, then
That
he
way
has to
you're
be
not-
big enough too for his feet to touch the pegs.
Yeah, because
There you go.
most
The
6
passenger
years most
perspective.
6-year-olds
Yeah,
are
'cause,
going
I
to
mean,
be able
it doesn't matter if autism or no autism. If he's
Yep.
not the right size, he's not the right size.
That's
Right.
true.
You know, you have to be big enough to do it.
And that's
He should
uh,
also, Dustin, you would have more experience than me, obviously, but my understanding was that some autistic children have like known triggers, like the parents are aware of some of their triggers. So, like Dustin said, his son is not a fan of loud sounds. So, that's something where you have a conversation with the parent if he hasn't already done that, right? And try to learn some of those things first before just jumping head over heels into it.
right.
I mean, you'd have to get to know the kid, I would think, first to gauge it better, to
Yeah,
feel
it's
safe
better
with the
to build
situation.
some sort of relationship so
Rapport,
you know what
right.
will work
Yeah.
and what won't.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
it's tough.
first of all, from a safety perspective, I haven't met very many 6-year-old boys that are going to be big enough to be able to sit on a full size motorcycle and reach the pegs. So I think that would be, kind of the first thing is to be able to, from a safety perspective, approach it like that. And then just like Dustin said, just approach it with like you would any other kid, build a relationship with him, find out what he likes, doesn't like, put a helmet on his head, the things that you would normally do with any other, child to develop a rapport and a relationship before, don't make any assumptions just because the child has autism.
Yeah, no. I
Yeah.
mean, I had
Yeah.
a little guy over last night. We had people over because my son turned 18, and he's 7 or 8, and he's just mesmerized by the motorcycle. I just put him on there and started it up and let him rev it, and he was fine with that. That's all he wanted.
Right. Did he piss all over the seat? He was so excited.
Did you make him wash it off?
No, he
when
was very excited though. I mean,
got off?
just like that. I mean, it was we had to wipe it down afterwards. But you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes that is enough at
Right.
that age.
Yeah.
They actually
Yeah.
don't need to ride. Just
Right.
getting on it and feeling it and being able to work the throttle is enough to send them home and put them in dreams for the rest of their life until they're old enough to ride one.
But you know what? We're not professionals, and we have no liability if you
not.
follow any of this advice and fuck up some kid.
Yeah, we are not professionals by any
Yeah.
means. Again, 99% bullshit.
Well, there you go. That's the last of the Discord questions that we're going to ask for this evening. There's a couple other ones we can maybe hit on a different episode, but those were the ones we're going to answer for tonight. Thank you guys. Keep on throwing in those Discord questions. We love the corresponding with the community and those of you that want to know what kind of bullshit opinions we have on things.
A lot of people joining Discord lately too. A lot of
Yeah,
new
we
members.
got quite
yeah.
a few join.
And Patreon. So again, I'll reiterate. I did with Sandoval. I'll reiterate again tonight. If you guys like what we're doing, you feel like you want to support us and support us a little bit further than just joining Discord because it's free, join Patreon, become a patron member, buy some merch. If you're going to FDBM, get your shirt. It'll be able to be picked up at the event.
You must order by the end of day on 31 May. You will not be able to order shirts after that. And we make no promises that any inventory will be available for sale at the event.
Oh, there you go.
Get your
You
order
heard it
in.
right here.
When do you have to order?
Before cutoff is 31 May
Oh,
because
Well,
we got to put
we
the
got
order
You
hoodies.
guys
in
a little bit of
and
time.
get them
Yeah.
produced.
We got
Hoodie, short
hoodies,
sleeve, long
short
sleeve.
sleeve, and long sleeve tees.
And a bundle. Shirt,
And a bundle with
get
a
it-
hoodie and a
save some
t-shirt.
money. Yep.
I'm looking for
T-shirt
the
and
banana
hoodie.
hammock. Is that available yet?
We could not get those priced.
Damn it.
No, they were too. No. We'll leave it at that.
Plus, if we didn't, we could just put the like what's on the front of the shirt says FDBM, but for Tony's it would just say FM.
Yeah.